that's that. Now I'm going to show you how to actually, as you see, I've named this script pickup points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer this question here. So basically I'm going to show you how to gain some points by collecting objects. So firstly we're going to want to have a variable that actually has a name to store in how many points we've got. So I'm just going to call it points, nice and easy, and I'm going to go with 0. And then I'm going to go and just display that value on the screen at all times. So I'm going to go this and call it points. Actually, let's do this. Okay, so again, text center on X is found in the global file, and then you've got the X, which is 50, so it's 0 to 100. So 0 is over here, 100 is this side of the screen. So 50 is obviously in the middle. 10 is the Y, so 0 to 100 down here. So 10 is about here somewhere. And then you've got the size of the text. So I think it's 1 to 5. 1 is the smallest size and 5 is the biggest. 4 is pretty big. Pretty decent for a null prompt. It's obviously this is based on aimed at making actual text readable text. It's not made to like cover the screen with one massive word or something. It is actually text that you would read. So 4 is big, but it's not huge. Then what we've done is you put your string in brackets, so points equals is going to be shown exactly as you read right here. And then I've added 2 dots and then put points in. So this is this here, so it's actually 0. It will say points equals and then whatever this variable actually is, which is 0. So points equals and then 0. And those 2 dots just are how you separate the variables from the actual string. If you don't have them, you will get an error. So that's that. So obviously this is just, like I say, it's just going to read points equals 0 somewhere here up here on the screen. It's not going to be anything different right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and add in down here. So once we get near to the object, we want to be able to pick it up. So we're going to do if g capital Q. Okay, so, actually we'll leave that for now. Okay, so this is again found in the global file, and that is just literally checking if the E key on the keyboard is pressed. So once we're near the object, if we press E, then we want to just gain some points basically. So points equals points plus, I don't know, just 1 maybe, that'll do. Okay, and then we're going to run that. So if you get near the object, you press E, then points is going to go up. Now, if anyone has any knowledge about coding, you're going to realize that this is not going to work quite so easily, and you'll see why once I actually run it. So there's the points equals 0 up at the top of the screen there. And if I go near this and press E, you'll see my points just start shooting through higher and higher, and the more I press E, even if I tap it, it's not going up by 1, it's going up by like 3 or 4 at a time. And that's because we have no form of this is constantly true. While the E key is held down, this is always true. So that's actually being run more than once because there's nothing to stop it to tell us, well, hang on a minute, how many times did we want it to run? And there's an easy way to do that. Is you just put in an extra variable here and then set the variable to a different value. So we're going to put it up here to give it a default value. So now we have to be pressing E, but also this pressed variable needs to be 0, which when we go inside the E is suddenly it becomes true. So at this point we can literally only press it once and we would only gain 1 point. But the other problem now is that we will never be able to gain any more points because pressed will always be 1. There's nothing to say put it back to 0. So we could pick up the first box and or get a point for going near the first box and pressing E, but we wouldn't get any points for pressing E again or going near another object and pressing E again. It would not even register the first one for the other objects. So what we're going to do here is do this, but we're going to check for it being 0 this time, which is its default value, and we're going to go press this 0. So now when we let go of E, it becomes 0 again, and then we know that we've let go, so we can reset this pressed back to 0. So that would let this become true again, but only once we let go of the E key. So every time I press E, I'm going to get a point now. As long as I'm next to an object, of course. So if I press E right now, nothing happens. But if I go near the barrel, and if I hold it down, doesn't make any difference. I still only get 1 point, and if I go near the crate, 1 point. But obviously you're not going to want to get unlimited amount of points just by standing here pressing E all the time. So a really simple way of doing that is just go here, and we can just destroy this box or crate or whatever. So again, this is in the global, and it's just going to destroy the object. Again, we're using E because it's the actual object running this script, and that will actually stop the script from running. It will hide the object and automatically turn off collision, all in one simple call. So I'm going to walk up to this barrel, press E, and you see the barrel's just gone, and I've got 1 point. No longer tells me it's a barrel. That's because I'm walking near the crate, but you can see there's no prompt anymore. And if I walk up to the crate, I get 2 points, but the text is gone. And that's because this script has stopped running, so this no longer happens. So I no longer know how many points I've got. So ideally, you would want to move this into a whole new script, so that this is always on the screen no matter what. And then you could set it always active is yes as well, so that it will show that prompt throughout the entire level. Whereas right now, if I walk away from these objects, I'll just do that real quick. Hopefully I'm far enough away. Nope. Let me just run out of range. There we go. See, it's disappeared because the scripts, like I say, have a range that they work by default. So at this far away, I can still see them, but they're not actually running their scripts until you get, there we go, it just kicked in now, until you get into a sort of closer range. So obviously you might have, like, if I picked these up, if I just picked up one of these, and suddenly that whole area of the map might become blank from scripts, and so I might have to then run right across the other side of the map just to see how many points I've got. So you'd want to have one object with just this line inside a function, of course, like same as these, but without any of this pickup stuff, so that you can actually see your score throughout the entire map. So if you want to change how many points you get, there are a couple ways to do it, but probably the best way to do it is actually like this. So what you could do is, like I say, just put in an actual value. Let me just oops. So you could put 5, ignore this green stuff now, and then you get 5 points every time you picked up an object. Or you could do something like this, and then you would randomly gain 1 point, 2, or 1, between 1 and 5 points, basically, including 1 and 5. But the computer would decide, so you wouldn't ever know in advance how many points the players were going to get and stuff like that. So it's useful for some things, but you possibly might not want it to be random. So the other way you can do it yourself is using this here. So again, this is found inside the global file, but we're using gentity e and then health in these little single apostrophes, I guess they are. So it goes a bit grey, and that is, let me just move my start marker a bit above for it. Tell you what, let's move them further away. Okay, so that is actually this value right here, the strength value. So if I change that, it's 25 on mine by default, but if I changed it down to say 15, and this one's probably 25 already, yeah, that's 25, okay. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, just so I get the points to stay on the screen without needing to make another script. So if I go near the barrel and pick up the barrel, I'll get 1 point. Oh, did I not save it? Whoops. Very important that you save your script, otherwise it won't actually update inside the game. Okay, so go to near the barrel, pick it up, I get 15 points. And if I go near the wooden crate, I get 40 points because 15 plus 25. And it's staying on the screen because I've got this one as well, but like I say, right now I can pick that up. Okay, so that's how you could then manually, in the editor, adjust how many points you get per object. We might even want to change this prompt right here. It's going to look very confusing. Sorry about that, but it does make sense, I promise. So again, it's similar to this down here, but what we're doing is we got collect, so that's literally going to say collect, and then weapon name E, which is the value we got up here, so whatever we set in the editor. So right now it's going to say collect barrel brackets acid, for example, then again 4, and then we're going to get the health and then points. So it will say collect barrel for 15 points or something along those lines.